When did I get into Wu-Tang? Okay, well, where to begin? 12 out of 10, damn. Okay. I would say I first became aware of Wu-Tang in the late 90s. Very, 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 I mean, they were on top of the world at this point. This was, oh shit, how am I going to? So 1997, they released their second group album, Wu-Tang Forever. And this was their like triumphant victory lap over like the entire music industry. Pretty fun. Their lead single was called Triumph, in fact. But I wasn't aware of that at the time. I was just aware of just Wu-Tang as a thing that I didn't really know. But, you know, the breakout star, and it was designed this way, but the breakout star of the Wu-Tang Clan was Method Man. And so Method Man was just around MTV, which I watched all the time, as just one of the coolest guys in the world. So, you know, oh, look at that guy. So what? So I remember Method Man being a guest celebrity judge on like the Wanna Be a VJ contest. He was a style icon at that point. He had as an accessory a red toothbrush in his mouth to match his red outfit. And he said that he would have a toothbrush on him as a style piece to teach his son that brushing your teeth is cool, which, I mean, that's just great. But, okay, so Method Man, right? I knew he was cool and funny and charismatic, and I knew he was talented, but I didn't really know any of his music until I heard his guest verse on the Limp Bizkit song, And Together Now. Big Limp Bizkit fan at the time. In fact, I almost did an episode of Googy Morning about Limp Bizkit, right? I didn't. But yeah, track 10 on Significant Other. You hear Fred Durst not doing a very good job rapping, and then you hear a pretty good standard Method Man verse. Oh, shit. Which is, you know, far and away, like an average Method Man verse is like head and shoulders above, you know, any other rap I was hearing at the time. So Method Man gained my respect immediately through that. And that stuck for a very long time. But they still, like, okay, you know, they mentioned Wu-Tang and Staten Island and all of that in his lyrics. But still, I'm not like a huge Wu-Tang fan. It's just, you know, I'm still not a very curious music fan. I'm more just kind of into whatever MTV is going to show me, you know, what's most convenient, what's most available, and what's like just going to grab my attention. So still a big rap metal guy, Korn, Limp Bizkit, Kid Rock. Pretty embarrassing stuff. I didn't crown that last one. Thank you. I'll go back. So, but Wu-Tang in my mind is just legitimized as legit, even without really hearing their music. I think, you know what? It was Gravel Pit. They had a song on their album, Gravel Pit. Oh, look at this awesome level. Ah! But if you've never seen the music video for Gravel Pit, bam, 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 you got to check out Gravel Pit. It's it's kind of like if there were a kung fu movie inside of the Flintstones Viva Rock Vegas movie. starring the Wu-Tang Clan. So if that doesn't sell you on one of the greatest music videos of all time, you got to check it out. Oh, I thought I lost the level, but I'm still going. So anyway, Gravel Pit, right? Okay, so like, I'm still not like a huge Wu-Tang Clan fan, but at this point I'm like, okay, these guys are weird and really good at rap, and they have like enough of whatever they need to make a just a truly, like, this was like the golden age of extravagant music videos with high concept. And then also, yeah, Triumph is just another amazing. Here's what's amazing about Triumph is, God, I guess I want to explain just everything about Wu-Tang. I should keep this personal so that we can keep it moving. But yes, Triumph is another just unbelievable song and video, which I used to know all the words to. It's like a 9-minute song where you hear a great verse from each member. It's like it's just a giant posse cut. Anyway, I'm trying to get on this thing. This is reminding me of Mad Max a little bit. Shit, I just did a bad job. Okay, so then, because Wu-Tang is just so legit and ubiquitous, they just keep popping up in pop culture. So ODB has a crazy interview every once in a while, and I'm like, oh wow, this. Or like Wu-Tang is for the Children, when he stormed the Grammys after Puffy won a Grammy when Wu-Tang should have won. And then it's just like, who is this crazy? Oh, he's in the Wu-Tang Clan too? And then what? Ghost Dog. I don't know if I saw that movie before I was a fan of Wu-Tang Clan. But another big moment actually was the Chappelle Show, because Chappelle is a huge Wu-Tang fan, and so he would get members of the Wu-Tang involved in the musical numbers at the end of the show, and then he also, I mean, what's a huge comedy moment to this day for me, Wu-Tang Financial, which you can find on YouTube, or actually the Chappelle Show is on Netflix now. So yeah, Wu-Tang Financial, and that had the RZA and the GZA doing a really funny sketch, but they were just being themselves, you know. Do I have to get a bullseye here? What's going on? And that, there's a line that the RZA says in Wu-Tang Financial that like genuinely made me laugh out loud hard. And he's talking about how his associate, Old Dirty Bastard, couldn't make it to the meeting today, but he sends his respects. And he just says it with the most straight face, deadpan, perfect. So it's like, okay, Dave Chappelle, coolest comedian in the world, funniest TV show around right now. I'm going to trust pretty much everything that he does. And he's repeatedly citing the Wu-Tang as like influential, cool, talented, funny. So, okay. I think that's what finally, that must have what had been, I think that was what finally made me kind of break through and check out the most influential rap album in my life, certainly, and in a lot of people's lives. 36 Chambers, Enter the Wu-Tang. It's their debut album as a group, and I guess I listened to this in like 2006, 2007. I was 18 or 19 at the time. And if you haven't heard this album, like I don't know what to tell you. Like I don't know if you're going to like it. There's going to be something, even if you don't like it, I think that the album is so powerful that you're going to hear something that makes you go, oh yeah, I understand why this album continues to be so embraced by so many people from all over. It's just like, it's a very powerful album. If you haven't heard 36 Chambers yet, I'd love to know how you feel after you hear it. It's got everything. It's okay. I'm going to stick to personal because. So anyway, I hear that album, and it's not totally involuntary. Like I kind of decide, like, okay, I'm changed now. Like I am a Wu-Tang Clan devotee. I'm going to do a deep dive. At this age, I would do like deep dives into musical artists that I liked. Like I would try to do, like I would pick an artist and try to just buy their records chronologically and just see how many records I could enjoy of a specific band before deciding like, okay, I get them, I'm going to move on to the next artist. I did this with Johnny Cash after that Joaquin Phoenix movie, Walk the Line, came out. And I've been a Johnny Cash fan ever since. I did this with Devo, their first 4 albums. And I've been a Devo fan ever since. And then I don't remember what artists I did it with this, but like, I started doing that with the Wu-Tang Clan. And the thing is, if you don't already know, there are 9 original members of the Wu-Tang Clan. 10 members if you count Capadonna, which some people don't do, but anyway. So yeah, and then so there's 9 members, right? And then they all, or most of them, have multiple solo albums, and then you start getting into the whole story of them. You know, they're kind of like I think it's more worthwhile and more entertaining to get into the Wu-Tang Clan than it is to get into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because the Wu-Tang Clan universe is cinematic, and it is action-packed, and it is entertaining, and you do have these larger-than-life characters, but it's just, I don't know, it's just it's deeper and more interesting to me than I don't know. The movies all start to kind of, I guess there could be an argument for like a lot of the music sounds the same, but once you start understanding the process, the personalities, you need a historical context for hip hop in general too. It becomes so rich, detailed, fascinating, and I was hooked. So you have 36 Chambers, and then you don't just go to the next group Wu-Tang Clan album, because so much happens in between them being discovered as like a cultural sensation, turning into a cultural sensation after they're discovered, because they weren't just releasing albums. The RZA is like this mastermind who came up with a 7-year plan I think it was a 5-year plan to take over the entire record industry. And how would he do it? By first releasing this amazing album that would get them all of this attention, and then by not just signing one record contract that says, okay, well, each member has their own record on this label. He signed each individual member of the Wu-Tang Clan, 9 rappers, 9 amazing, unique, gifted, charismatic, talented, hungry rappers, aggressive. And he signed each one of them to a different record label, competing record labels. So instead of just one group of unusual individual artists competing against the rest of the record industry, he now governed over 9 different rappers on different record labels, and he made the competition work for the group instead of against the group. So he had record labels doing things they were never doing before. Like at around holiday, like there was like a specific, it must have been like 94, 90, or maybe it was 97, when a bunch of different Wu-Tang Clan members had albums coming out for the holidays, plus the big reunion. Fuck, I keep failing this level. So there was like specifically like there's this story of like this box at record stores in like 98 or something, where it's like, let's put all the Wu-Tang affiliated albums together in this one shelf. And it's like this promotion. And of course it's all promoting Wu-Tang, but it's like all these different record labels are coming together to promote the W, this giant brand that just came out of nowhere. Fuck, I'm sick of this level. Anyway, so you listen to 36 Chambers, right? And then there is a first wave. Fuck, I'm right there. There's a first wave of solo albums. That's like some of the most classic 90s. I mean, it's kind of a meme now for guys who look like me around this age to say, oh yeah, 90s hip hop, right? And there's a lot of amazing 90s hip hop. But if you really want to enjoy something, listen to the first wave of solo albums that the RZA produced. It's very important here that the RZA was not only the mastermind, along with his brother, who kind of took a back seat publicity-wise, but it was the RZA and his brother Divine that created this giant, intricate business plan. But it was also the RZA producing with this signature sound that he developed that completely changed the scope and just the feel of music at the time. Like, what a feat, right? So then we get into the first wave of solo albums. You have Method Man's first solo album, Tikal. That was the first one to come out because the plan was, okay, well, Method Man's the first breakout star. Then, and you want to talk about Planet Scum and Scum in general. Something that I love about Method Man is that, I mean, he's raw. Like that's one of the things about him. He's rugged and raw, and he'll like rap about blowing his nose, and yet he's still like the heartthrob of the group. But that was always a label that he didn't want. It was just kind of thrust upon him, the handsome guy, because he would rap about, like hawking loogies and stuff, which not that many. I mean, I love it. I love him. So then what do you have? You have one of the greatest rap albums ever, Liquid Swords by Genius, the Jizza. I mean, there's a very deliberate reason why Slices, the Vacation Jason song Slices, available now on Bandcamp, is a direct ripoff of the title track Liquid Swords and the album art Liquid Swords. I'm not going to do a rapper character called Scum, and here's why. Tekashi 6ix9ine, that lovable scamp, he's like, his crew is called the Scum Gang, which already, I mean, with Planet Scum, but it's an acrostic, which I love acrostics, but it's for society can't understand me. No, fuck that. And I don't like that guy. So I'm not going to do a rapper called Scum. But I was thinking of doing a professional wrestling character named Gunk, who would just be 100% disgusting. He'd be like a gross punk, Gunk. and he would, like fuck you up with his, he'd put you in a headlock and then like blow a snot rocket on your ear, or he would take his boot off and his sock would be disintegrated and his foot would be all green, and he'd just stick his foot in your face. He'd, gross out comedy wrestler, right? What the fuck am I supposed to be doing with this level? Completed in 7 seconds? God damn it. How? 3, 2, 1. Shit. But in order for me to do gunk, I would have to kind of live the gimmick, and that'd be gross. So anyway, Jizza, the genius, the head of the Voltron, that is, well, I mean, lyrically, he's the head of the Wu-Tang Voltron. You see, I'm trying to shoot higher, but when I do, I don't get the chance to shoot again. So if I stay low to the ground, I can shoot multiple times. Pow, 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 pow. You see? Okay. We're still talking about the first wave, right? Okay. So then you have, oh, fuck! I overshot. Oh my God. Okay, well, I can definitely do it now. I got this. Thank you. Thank you for all your support and your tips. We got there. Did I? Okay. Collect the apples. Ooh. Who am I, Jar Jar? Okay, so where are we? Liquid Swords. That's, okay. Obviously, my number one recommendation is 36 Chambers, but you got to listen to Liquid Swords. And go to genius.com and read the lyrics and the annotations of the lyrics as you listen to both 36 Chambers and Liquid Swords. I thought I knew these albums well, but and I do, but like even still, it's just so fun. I mean, their lyrics are, I mean, this is why I don't rap very much anymore. It's because I unfairly hold myself to a standard of like, well, the Wu-Tang Clan or certain rappers from the Wu-Tang Clan would do it like this. And I just don't have that level of mastery. And it just doesn't seem as worth it to me because I don't want to, just don't want to. But anyway, then you have Return to the 36 Chambers by Old Dirty Bastard. And okay, look, I got a little torch. And this album is unlike any other rap album. This is an album where I think one of my favorite quotes about it is Busta Rhymes said something like, I heard that album and then I knew how to make my album. Like, this is just such a crazy, like, Old Dirty Bastard is, he's a son unique. It's in his name. It's just, he's the most unique. He's unbelievable. He's like a trickster god. He's like he just did everything completely the opposite of what rap was supposed to be. Like, out of, like, you could say that that could be said of all of the Wu-Tang, and that's kind of how they broke out. But ODB especially, it's like, what planet is this guy from? And I love him. And so there's that, right? And then where am I supposed to go here? Access denied. Is this like one of the first? Okay, and then, okay. But look, I didn't tell this story 100% chronologically. And that's because I haven't yet mentioned Ghostface Killer. Ghostface Killer. This guy is unbelievable. This guy is amazing. Ghostface. Oh my God. What the hell am I supposed to do here? So before I listened to 36 Chambers for the first time, I was working at summer camp. All my best friends, including my friend Jesse, and Jesse's a very influential friend to me. And he's a New Yorker, and he's kind of like, he taught me a lot about good music from New York. New Yorkers can't stop talking about New York, so I'm going to listen to him. And what the fuck? Come on, why am I throwing the hats backwards? What am I saying here? I'm saying Jesse played for me. We were on a day off, in Wet Hot American Summer when they go to town. We had like 24 hours off from working at camp to drive to the beach and sleep in sleeping bags and make s'mores. We did like wholesome summer camp stuff, just like not outside. We were outside of the summer camp. Anyway, what are people saying? He put on a song that this is the song that I think changed my life. If you want to boil it down to one song, but it's called "Be Easy," and it's by Ghostface, and it's on his amazing album Fish Scale. Fish Scale, of course, is slang for really good cocaine. Why is he throwing the hat backwards? Pissing me off. Fuck. All right. Fish Scale is an amazing kind of mid-career album. The first hat gets fucking... Fuck you. Look, I'm going to try throwing it backwards. And it does work. I didn't think it was going to work. All right. Sucks. Hey, Lindsay Premel's here. Cool. Anyway. Oh, yeah. Fish Scale is an amazing Ghostface album. So, right away, I'm a fan of Ghostface. And Jesse's like, well, then you got to listen to 36 Chambers. And then I did. But, oh, my God. Ghostface. So, we go back to the first wave. Oh, my fucking God. I didn't even mention. Okay. Method Man to Cal. I'm going chronologically here, I think. Method Man to Cal. Jizza. Liquid Swords. ODB. Return to the 36 Chambers. Raekwon, the chef. Only built for Cuban links. I mean, talk about another massively influential album. Do you remember when in the 90s when all rappers decided they're Scarface? Or they all decided they were going to be like their own version of mafiosos? Didn't start with Biggie Smalls. Didn't start with Jay-Z. It started with Raekwon deciding, you know what? I'm going to call myself Lex Diamonds, and I'm going to pretend that I'm an old Italian man, with like an empire of drug running and organized crime. And he took all of his favorite tropes and from those movies. And you know what? They were really into like Japanese and Korean crime films at the time too, and that's why there's a lot of. A big trope among all Wu-Tang albums is the inclusion of sound clips from kung fu movies, mafia movies, but like that really kicked into high gear with. Only Built for Cuban Links by Raekwon. This is basically like a double album, not a double album, like like a double headliner, Ghostface and Raekwon. They're like very linked. Their styles and the subject matter that they rap about. It's like they are always on the same page there. So anyway, Only Built for Cuban Links was like another massively influential album. And then the final album of the first wave is Ghostface's, his first solo album, Iron Man. And yeah, he calls himself Tony Starks, the Iron Man. Why? Because he's rich and he's a genius and because he's got weapons? No. Ghostface calls himself Iron Man because it was a way to like feel empowered after he got diagnosed with diabetes. And so, like, much like Iron Man, he had a dependency on his technology to keep him alive. And then he ended up he has like a cameo in the first Iron Man movie, I think, as like an African king or something. Okay, so yeah, all of those, I mean, those albums are just fucking crazy. All of them are good. I can't say that every song is good, but like it's this unbelievable point in time where these 9 really passionate, extremely talented, overlooked rappers just made hit after hit, sounding nothing like anything that was coming out at the time. And then, I see what I gotta do now. I gotta look at this guy's arm for the release. There we go. So look, the first wave, I mean, I'm primarily a listener and a fan of the first wave of Wu-Tang solo albums. You can't go wrong with any of the albums from the first wave. Of course, there's a lot of amazing work after the first wave. I mean, Wu-Tang Forever is this unbelievable double album that, I mean, my God. And then what else? I mean, what else? I mean, I don't know. I feel drained now after putting that much. Did I answer your question? I mean, that's I don't know where to go from there. So now I could go on, but I hope that in part explains why it was such a huge deal to perform as Vacation Jason for Method Man on the Chris Gethard Show. I'll give you another little insight. On that road trip, on that RV, I mean, okay, so I moved to New York basically because I saw an ASCAT, a UCB show with Chris Gethard in it. And I was like, that's the guy I gotta train under, right? Became a huge fan of him, became his friend and everything. And it's been great. I mean, he's done look, I'm on his channel right now. This is why, look what's going on, Fail. That's funny. But what am I saying here? Okay. So to be on that road trip, I mean, what they didn't quite mention was they invited me on that road trip because of how big of a fan I was of the original UCB Chris Gethard Show. Oh, this level sucks. So it meant the world to me that I could be the one kid in the RV with like my favorite show, you know? And one of the things that I did to like be like, here's who I am, maybe you'll like this, is I don't remember where we were driving, but I was in the RV and I was like, let's put on this song and I know all the words to Triumph, a very long, very crazy song. And I rapped Triumph for them. And that's, you know, here's a little spoiler for Texas is an Island tonight. I didn't just come out and say like, oh, do you want to hear my favorite Inspector Deck verses? The reason that came up was because, you know, I was like, I don't have any more material. They're asking for a second encore. I don't know what to do. And Gethard says, well, I know that he happens to know all the words to Triumph. And he's kind of setting me up there. And then I took that and instead I went, who wants to hear my 3 favorite Inspector Deck verses? Haven't even talked about Inspector Deck yet. Okay. Oh God, look at this. Oops, I'm going to blow myself up. Oh, that's satisfying. Nice bowling. I'm the Henry Rollins of TCGS. Yeah, get in the van. Not Black Flag, Pirate Flag, because nautical theme, vacation G's. Okay. I'm the original trash person. Yeah, no, you know what I am? I'm the original random. That's not even true though. Like, I'm one of the original randoms. On like the UCB version of the Gethard Show, he would like do like a little raffle or a little contest where, you know, at the end of like the winner would be invited on stage or invited to be just a member of the panel. So like there was always from the beginning like an element of getting the audience involved. But like, yeah, I was like, I'm like one of the original randoms in that, like I had a spot on the show after being invited on and encouraged in that way. And this is like, to this day, a very, very, very big deal to me. I mean, it was my favorite show. And then I got to do the show as my character. And then like, you know, through that trial by fire, I was able to like, I was told that the character sucks. And then I won them over. I mean, like, why do you think it's so hard for me to let go of this character? Is because look at all that has come of it after it started from such a humble thing. So yeah, but what were we talking about? Rapping Triumph on the RV, that turning into me rapping Inspector Deck. Now, why Inspector Deck? He doesn't even have a solo album from that hollowed first wave. Little known fact, he did have an album from that first wave. Tragically, the basement studio where the RZA would produce all of these legendary albums flooded, ruining the nearly complete solo album that Inspector Deck was scheduled to release during that era of the Wu-Tang Clan. And listen, it would have been unreal. Because once you start listening to the Wu-Tang Clan, and it might take you a while, you got to read the lyrics while you're listening to understand which member is which. But like, you want to hear a lyricist who's like, from the first syllable they utter, it's impactful and like gripping. This guy has it. This guy has it like who, like, maybe an apt comparison might be DMX. Rest in peace to DMX. I never listened to a lot of DMX, but like the aggression, the passion, the lyrical dexterity, the vividness with which they deliver. Yeah, that's DMX like. MF Doom, how can I describe MF Doom? MF Doom is a little bit more chill, a little bit more like, I'm tempted to say like imaginative, even though all three rappers mentioned right now are imaginative. But it's like MF Doom has such a strange, unique relationship with the beats that he rhymes over. God, Inspector Deck is both technically gifted as a rhymer, but like he had the vibe. He like exemplified so singularly like the vibe that Wu-Tang was going for, which is like aggressive, emulating the Kung Fu movie influence, aggression kind of thing with the street knowledge. MF Doom always to me seems more relaxed and more like not to say that Inspector Deck isn't wise, but like there seemed to be just kind of like a more chilled out wisdom to what MF Doom brought to his style. I'm not an expert in MF Doom. I just love I love Doomsday. I love Food. But I'm not, those albums were very influential to me, but I never really did a deep dive on MF Doom the way I did with the Wu-Tang Clan. Maybe I should, because I've loved everything I've heard. Okay. But like, yeah, one of the, like the Holy Grail, I mean, it's not even a Holy Grail because it doesn't exist anymore, but like the lost Inspector Deck album from the early 90s would have been, it absolutely would have been my favorite. There's no doubt. I got to listen to Mad Villain again. You know what? Mad Villain is an album that's like, okay, well, you can't talk about MF Doom without talking about Mad Villain. And I think I'm the same way, Hex, where like, I never gave it a fair shake. Some albums, I mean, like an album like 36 Chambers, just like it gripped me so instantly that it's like, okay, well, this is what I'm into now. And then you kind of have these expectations after you're listening to that, where like, okay, it didn't grab me the way this album grabbed me, so I'm not going to give it as fair of a shake. You know what I mean? And so part of the downside of being such a obsessive over Wu-Tang is like the depth of like my music knowledge suffers because it's just so narrowly Wu-Tang centric. And I'm not complaining because, man, I've listened to, I mean, it's just, I love the music so much. But like, you know, there's a lot of music out there, you know? Fuck, stop failing me. This is a hard level. So here's a little story. So the Gethard Show moves to True TV. And part of what happens when a show becomes a show is you have to publicize the show. Gethard, as the host, needs to, do a lot of press and interviews. And, you can do that kind of press junket thing if you're like a big star where you sit in the chair and a bunch of interviewers come sit one by one and interview you. Or if you're not a huge star yet and, you want to conduct a whole bunch of interviews just simultaneously and take care of business in one fell swoop, you do this thing called the TCAs. TCA, what does that stand for? Television Critics Association, I think. Anyway, basically, there's a giant events hall in the Beverly Hills Hotel where the stars of new or returning or changing television shows, they all come and they do some press for the TCAs where you stand on stage and talk about your show, and they'll show a little sizzle reel of, what's to come, and you give people a vibe of the show. And then out in the audience, it's not really an audience, it's hundreds of journalists on laptops, all click-clacking at the same time, looking up at you, looking down at their laptops, looking up at you, looking down at their laptops, not smiling, not laughing, not really reacting, just all stone-faced because they're doing their job. They have to write about these new television shows for their industry blog or whatever. And they're all just typing furiously. So instead of laughter, you would just get click-clacks. So I got brought to the TCAs. I don't want to go to the TSA. TCAs. It was me. It was Gethard, obviously, Shannon, Murph, and me. I felt very honored to be representing the show in front of actual, like real deal industry. But I was also pissing my pants because, like everyone else is like, hey, what's up? I'm Murph. Yeah, I'm Shannon. Like, oh, what's up, guys? It's me, Chris Gethard, and not a good Shannon impression. But, oh, look at this tiny little moon. So, oh, I love this level so much. So the TCAs, right? Just regular old Gethard Show panel. And, and a big thing about the panel is like, hey, take it or leave it. We are who we are. This is us. And this is the show that we're putting on. But, Gethard wanted to, help the show stand out a little bit and, be a little weird and entertaining for the TCAs in, Gethard Show fashion. Asked me if I would be okay doing the TCAs in character, in costume. And fuck yeah, like, geez, I haven't even told you the cruise ship story. That's for another day. But, so yeah, like my whole job at the TCAs was to do Vacation Jason live on stage for the press. But, I can't just turn it on and off, right? Like I'm wearing the costume in the holding room where all the celebrities are hanging out before we get on stage. Lunatic, yes, correct. So I get into character in my hotel room. I get into costume. I look in the mirror and I tell myself I'm Vacation Jason for about 15 minutes, right? And what else do? I listen to the song, what's the song? Suspect Device by stiff little fingers. I know what to do. Okay, yeah. So, you know, like I'm really trying to fucking get into, like, I'm trying to hype myself up because this is scary, you know. This is, oh damn it, I'm not going to do this level first try. This isn't like live TV, but this is us representing for the TV industry, right? And it's scary. I'm gonna fully name drop because I don't think anyone is actually cares. But like this is, and you know, this is, you also have to remember, like, okay, yes, I'm part of the Chris Gethard Show. It's been on Fusion. It's been on public access. It's just a more polished version of the UCB thing to me. And, you know, and UCB, you know, it's done a lot of good for my life. But, you know, the downside of UCB, which, you know, there are a few, and for me and for a lot of people like me, one of the downsides is it kind of holds captive your imagination about like where you go, and like, and everything kind of comes back to UCB and like how you look according to, you know, like there's a lot of self-conscious bullshit that comes with it. So like I'm still weirdo UCB kid doing just a little bit hyped up version of this show that, yeah, it's on TV now, but like it's still my character. It's still these people that I look up to, and it's still just like, what the fuck am I doing here? So we get to this holding room. I'm wearing, you know, I thought, you know, like this is one of the few times ever that I've done Vacation Jason with shoes on, because I didn't want to be barefoot for everyone at the TC, you know, like I'm getting enough strange looks in full costume and character in the Beverly Hills Hotel, nose goop, you know, just fucking walking like in a, you know, like I'm doing it. I'm doing Vacation Jason for this industry event. And my dad, who, you know, he gave me a pair of shoes for Vacation Jason to wear. They're those awful fucking toe shoes, you know, the shoes that have the toes. And I should have never put these on because my dad wore these for years. Gross. And I inherited a really persistent foot fungus from my dad in those shoes that lasted a long fucking time. I had to go to the dermatologist for that shit. Anyway, that's not, look, got to get raw. Do I have to write another poem about, anyway, oh, my dad's going to be so embarrassed. Anyway, so I'm doing Vacation Jason at this industry event, right? And oh my God, you know, like I'm still, I mean, one of the unfortunate kind of like mind restricting things about UCB is like I'm not going to say about UCB, but about the conditions that, like there is a condition that can kind of bloom in certain minds due to like the just the mentality of being so involved at UCB. So like you like value celebrity more than maybe it should be valued, right? So I'm still in the mindset of like, I'm this little guy who, you know, was, you know, cut from Herald Night, and I don't know if I deserve to be here, but like, you know, shut up. Of course you do. But that's not what's pumping through my veins at that point, right? What's going on is, oh my God, it's Michael Showalter. Oh no, you know, or like, I think Amy Sedaris was there. Oh my God, you know, and like, yeah, it had to be like, you know, because it was True TV, Turner, Amy's show was on, you know, and it's like, oh my God, Amy Sedaris. Oh my God, the stars of of Search Party, you know? And I know that doesn't mean a lot to everyone, but like Search Party, if you recall, that's the show with all the cool, attractive comedians, right? And look, like, it's not like I haven't been to a house party with John Reynolds, but it's like, I don't know, there's like this talent thing where it's like I see other people being talented and achieving. And even though, like, wait a minute, I've already been on this show and we're just doing a little bit of an industry thing for this show that's already existed. And on the outside, it looks like I'm comfortable enough to do something goofy and wacky, but like I'm freaking out on the inside. Even though it's just like cool people like John Reynolds and Michael Showalter, it's like, it's fucking huge. So there's like a little step and repeat. What is a step and repeat? It's like the thing with the logos on it and you pose on like the red carpet. Yeah, this is a deep dive on imposter syndrome. Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, why do you think all of my wacky characters are so sure of themselves? And then, anyway, yeah, good question. Golf note, nothing new to report. Golf is still boring. Where was I? TCAs. I'm freaking out. Okay, so look. I wonder if I have a prop to show off. 1 second. I'm off mic for just a moment. All right, I'm back. It's a little anticlimactic. I couldn't find the thing I wanted to talk about. Too bad. But so TCAs, right? Freaking out over celebrities, right? Knowing me and knowing what you know based on what we just talked about for close to an hour, I think. Who is going to make me freak out more than anyone? Oh, wait, before I tell you, I mean, weird. We took pictures with, like in the step and repeat. That's why I mentioned, we took pictures with the president of True TV, and like, they're like, can we get a serious one, Vacation Jason? And I'm just like holding up a strawberry that I got from catering. And I'm like, look at this strawberry. This is what's actually important right now. None of this TV stuff. Like, I'm being an asshole for the photographer, basically. Like, I'm performing for the photographer. And like in front of the president of True TV. What the fuck was I, like, what am I doing here? Port all in one. Oh. There are some pictures of me like okay, so like there's a picture of like the Gethard Show panel. Like they're all like have their arms around their shoulders, and like the president of True TV is looking very nice, just like has a nice little smile, and then just good old Vacation Jason holding a strawberry going, like, that's why they brought me there. That's why Gethard asked me to be there. But like, my God, that was my job. That was like to just be an idiot, right? I fucking did it. I did my job. Oh my God, look at this level. This is weird. Okay, so yeah, who could it be? Guys, it was Method Man. And I know you guessed that already. Good Good guess. Good question. Good guess. But it's Method Man looking, professional and cool, and like, he's been like a serious actor for years now. He's like, he's not. I think there was a lot of he was determined to like not be pigeonholed by like the rap thing, so like I couldn't just go up, like I'm in full Vacation Jason. I can't go up to him and go, oh my god, like I was freaking out internally, right? And there was no respectable, go to the conveyor belt room and snag a thing for the pressure plate. Yes. Thank you. There was no possible way that I could just like do what I really wanted to do, which was tell him, look, I've been a fan of yours for, like over 10 years at that point. Oh, damn it. Come on. This is taking some concentration. Stand by. Thank you for your hint. I needed that. But you know who does talk to Method Man? Chris Gethard. And apparently they had a really lovely, brief conversation about career suicide, because Method Man had watched it, and he learned something new about mental health. And that's great. That's what the special's for. But I mean, who knows how I'm feeling right now better than Chris Gethard? And he has this conversation with Method. He's like schmoozing. That's what you do at these events, right? It's like he's talking to Michael Showalter. He's talking to industry people. He's talking to, the people from Search Party. Yeah, got it. And I'm, like dancing with little pieces of fruit to myself because nobody wants to be around me. And that's probably for the best at this moment. And, I got to get it a hole in one again. Okay. Fuck. Ugh. Oops. What is, okay, what's another thing you have to know about me and just the dynamics of the Chris Gethard Show and all that? Like, even though I am a respected, appreciated, dependable cast member on the show, I am still, the goofball that, like acted like a complete weirdo to get noticed and have his breakout moment within the context of the show. Texas is an island and all that. So I'm still, kind of like a little bit of a little brother kind of role. So it sounds mean. And yeah, Gethard's, my mom hates this about the Chris Gethard Show. She hated how mean Gethard was to Vacation Jason on the show. Never quite fully appreciating the fact that my role on the show is like the guy Gethard is mean to, and then she hated that. But anyway, like this, I'm flipping out, right? And what does Gethard say to me? He says, I will never tell you what me and Method Man talk about. And he gets really close and he puts his finger in my face. He's like, I will never tell you what me and Method Man just talked about. Or maybe I even asked. I was like, what did you and Method Man talk about? And he goes, I will never tell you what I talked about with Method Man. Which is is the perfect funny thing for him to say in that moment, knowing, our dynamic and him knowing how freaked out I was at that moment. But I was like, come on, man, what the fuck? But it gets better. It gets a lot better. So we do the TCA thing, right? And it's like, the nature of the game is like, it's really rushed. Like, we have literally 5 minutes on stage in front of all these bloggers and whoever. To like answer any random question they might have about the show. What am I supposed to do in this level? Oh, okay. And it doesn't go very well. I mean, in a live comedy kind of context, and of course we're comedians and we're trying to be funny for them, but they are not having it. And partly because they have to type more than they can listen. Like, they're listening, but only so that they can, just write something about the show. And another reason that I don't think they liked us very much was because of me. Because what was my grand idea for a comedy bit? I'm going to make fun of these bloggers who don't get what I'm all about. So, like, okay, here's my one chance to like make an impression on this industry audience. And I'm like, so wait, let me get this straight. You guys all live in Los Angeles and you're not all on the beach right now. You're sitting in this stupid room on your laptops. Ew, that sucks. You're working. I'm on vacation. And it just doesn't hit. Like, obviously this would kill in a context where you've heard of me or you've heard of the show, but they just were not. They didn't want to hear that. They really didn't want to hear that. So the Gethard Show didn't make a huge splash at the TCAs like we wanted. But then afterwards, we're back in holding, right? And it's like, okay, you can schmooze for a little bit, and then you're going to get your photos taken, and then you're done for the day. So it's in this pivotal moment. This last schmooze of the day. This is what is so. I mean, this is. How do I explain this? I gotta go back in time for a second. Look at this interesting level. You guys remember Elena? Oh, how we love her. I wish she was here right now. She would like to hear me say all this stuff. Elena gave me a gift before the TCAs. I think months before, but like this gift really came into play because she got me it was like a little plastic box full of business cards, but they weren't business cards. They were just cards. They were just blank cards, little brown. This is what I was looking for. Little brown paper cards in the shape of a business card, but just blank. And I really loved these. I thought this was really thoughtful because instead of just having like a generic, I'm a comedian business card, I could hand write my name and my phone number and my email on the business card. And then on the back, do my space noodle drawings. Googy Morning, the space noodles. What the fuck? Oh yeah, look how fortuitous Look at the fruit level. Thank you. Am I supposed to get all the fruit? Damn. Oh, look at that. This is kind of nice. Okay, so these business cards. I don't even know how I won that level, but I did. I'm going to drink some more tea. My throat is getting sore. I brought with me, I think, you know, the downside of hand drawing your business cards, this is why nobody does it, is because it takes forever for one business card to be made, right? And I don't have the best handwriting, so I would like waste a lot of business cards. Drawing my name and my number and a space noodle on the back. I had a good conversation with a Lyft driver, so like I gave a business card to a Lyft driver. I think I gave another one to someone else, and then I had a blank business card that I didn't fill out. And at this post TCA meeting schmooze, a representative from True TV comes up to us. It was me, Shannon, Murph, just kind of like in a little triangle, just kind of like freaking out. Like, who do we talk to? Single use singularities. What the fuck is this level? Fail. Fail. This is nice. Anyway, a representative from True TV comes up to the Gethard Show people, and she's, I don't want to say she's panicking, but she's like stressed, or she's like, guys, help me right now. I need Method Man. I need to write down my information for Method Man so that we can get him on the Gethard Show. And all of the stress, I do have to use all the portals. Thank you, Stephen. I'm trying to hit him into this pink one over here, but it keeps going to the orange one on the floor by accident. Fuck. And all of the stress, all of the panic, all of the self-conscious bullshit fear melts away instantly, because it's all been leading to this moment, this perfect moment that nobody could have planned, where someone needed a piece of paper so urgently to write down their info to give to Method Man for him to appear on the Gethard Show. And I open my wallet and I pull out a single blank business card. And all around me, Shannon, Murph, this representative from True TV, they're going, why do you have this? And I don't have an answer. I just do. It's just something Elena gave me. And it's something that I keep in my wallet. And just with a clear mind and just with, it was just perfect. It was all I had to do was just hand her the card, and I handed it to her. And she thanked me. As weird as this moment was, she thanked me for that. Yes, test success. And she wrote her info down on this card. And man, if Twitch were allowed to play clips from TV, I would cut straight to that clip of Vacation Jason meeting Method Man. In fact, I put it on YouTube. I don't know if it's going to get taken off one day, but it's there for now. So go to youtube.com/Robot Riley. And a pretty recent upload is Vacation Jason Meets Method Man. And you will, I mean, you'll see. Just one of the most full circle definitely one of the most full circle moments of my life as an artist and performer and fan of the Wu-Tang and of the Gethard Show. And just think about everything that I've mentioned today. The fandom that I've had for the Gethard Show and the Wu-Tang Clan. Look at this level. We didn't see this level before. Is this like this is a super hot parody level. But everything was leading to that moment. And I got to rap for Method Man. And you know, I've watched and listened to interviews with him since. Super putt, very funny. And you know, I do get self-conscious retroactively about the idea that like he doesn't love being pigeonholed. Look at these pigeons. Pigeonhole because it's golf. As, you know, just a rapper, just a weed smoking rapper, you know, because he's so much more than that. He really takes his acting craft seriously. If you've ever seen him in anything, especially one of my favorite things he's done, The Wire, he's the real deal, and he really takes his acting seriously. So, you know, like, it makes me wonder what his state of mind could have been. He was just so accommodating, welcoming, you know, like the Gethard Show was very reverent of him and all that. And he's since, you know, like done, like, if you, oh no, come on. He does a Marvel podcast now. Like it's not just, he's not just a fan, like it's a podcast on Marvel's audio network. What is this level? What am I supposed to do? But it's called Marvel Method, and it's a great. Gethard does an episode. He's a guest on Marvel Method. So like they're buddies, and there's mutual respect there. I don't have to worry so much about that. But yeah, Gethard was on that podcast. He did great. He actually gets to speak to the comic book artists that are behind his most influential comic book stories. So someone who's known these stories about Gethard for a long time, it's a good listen. What am I supposed to do here? No, I got to be pacifist, meaning I can't kill anybody. I got to just there. Oh, damn it. Almost got it. So what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say, I hope Method Man had a good time. And you know, like, okay, so there's the clip that you see on TV, right? And it cuts to commercial after the Vacation Jason bit. And I'm like, the music's playing, so it's too loud for anyone to, you know, speak or anything. And I'm in the distance, and I give Method Man the W, I throw up the W, and I'm so amazed and just jacked up from this moment. And, you know, there's like another 40 minutes of show. And near the, like, oh, he's shooting me. Fuck. Okay. There's like another 40 minutes of show, and then like the commercial break before the musical act. And this is when, because it's that moment where, like, Gethard has like everybody around to say goodbye before signing off and the musical guest. And so like Method Man, no, Gethard puts a hand on my back, puts a hand on Method Man's back, and is like, you guys have to talk for a second, because like we're all Wu-Tang fans, but this guy here, he's like the Wu-Tang nerd of the group, which is true. And what does Method Man tell me in this moment privately, like when no one else can hear? He says, yeah, I wasn't sure at first if that was going to be good, but like, like you actually had some flow, like you did it. Well, no. The first thing that he said to me, he checked in with me to make sure my feelings weren't hurt, because he said no to when I tried to pass him the mic to rap. So he says, like, you know why I said that, right? And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, I was putting you on a spot, and it was way funnier that you said no, And he's like, yeah, cool, because I'm more of a written guy than a freestyle guy, and I just didn't want to give it to him raw like that. And it's like his voice that I've heard for years in my headphones, and he's talking about giving it to him raw, but like in the context of a conversation he's having with me. It was unbelievable, right? It was truly unbelievable. So then he gives me like his thoughts on, like, I mean, always like a compliment and a like a little feather in my cap that has always been something that I is one of my favorite things about doing Vacation Jason is people saying, yeah, I just didn't think I was going to like it, but like, yeah, you actually got me. Like, yeah, like I thought, like, okay, your first joke, okay, that's one joke, but then you kept going, and it was like, oh, this is actually, like, I actually like this. Like, that means a lot. That always means a lot, because I know how stupid this character is. And yeah, it's dumb, right? But for Method Man for that to work so many times over the years, not every time, but so many times over the years, and then for Method Man to reflect that same sentiment, it's like what more validation could I've asked for, right? And then he compliments my actual delivery. And what is so important about this is, and you can just listen, you can listen to Method Man. You can go listen to his music. Or you can read about it. You can read about why the RZA thinks that Method Man is one of the best rappers of all time. And it's because of his flow, his lyric. It's many things. It's his persona. It's his, the imagery in his lyrics. But Method Man was especially in the early 90s, a major innovator of having many, many different types of flow, and also doing a kind of what is very common today in rap is like kind of like doing this, the kind of combination sing rap where like he would rap, but it would sound like he's singing and he's got a little vocal to it. And just like the cadence and the rhythm with which he would ride a beat was like, that's something that really made Method Man a star. It's what helped people understand that he was a master. So for Method Man to compliment my flow, and I remember the exact phrase, he's like, he was paying attention to my flow, and he very casually just goes, because I'm a flow guy. Like, just like that, like with a little bit of a shrug, just like, yeah, I'm a flow guy. And in my head, I'm going, you're a flow guy? You're a flow guy? I didn't say this to him because I was too shocked to speak. But it's like, no. Method Man, you are a master. I didn't say that to him at the time, but like you understand, right? How all of this is just so full circle, insanely like, it's just the only way that this happened. It's amazing that this is the way that it happened. I'm about to get killed again by this guy, but at least damn it, almost got there. Shit. So that was that. And then the show ended. And Method Man is perhaps, no. This is actually really good company. But to my knowledge, the only special celebrity guests to stick around and hang out with the cast and crew of the show after the show, you got Method Man, and from the season 2 finale, you have X-Pac and Rhino, and Colt Cabana and Brian Myers and Pat Buck. That's good company right there. But anyway, Method Man hung out in the green room with the cast and crew, holding court, answering questions, just graciously accepting all the thank yous for doing the show and being so good at the show, getting the show. It was unbelievable. And my mind was so blown that here's what happened. Here's what fucking happened. He's holding court and like talking to each person, right? And then he gets to me. And of course, everyone is so happy for me that because I had the moment of all moments that a fan of Method Man could have on the Gethard Show, right? And he goes, so Vacation Jason, is that like a lifestyle thing? And what do we know about Riley when he does Vacation Jason? I did it on the road trip. I did it at, the Texas is an Island show. I even did it at the damn TCAs. I stayed in character. And after all of this, after my glory moment, right? Method Man asks me literally the easiest question you could ask Vacation Jason. I have 5 to 10 just ready to go lines about how I'm always on vacation. And what do I say? I say, no, it's just a bit. It's just a stupid bit. I don't know. It's just this thing that I do. I'm totally different when I'm not doing the character. And the whole room goes, oh, man. Murph goes, I don't think you've ever done that before. I was just too, it was just too real. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Oh, pacifist? Okay. This explains a lot. And yeah, that was, I'm leaving out some pretty crucial details of that part of the story just because I don't know if it could get anybody in trouble, but maybe just It's just maybe better if I don't include all the details. But if you listen to Method Man's music, you'll be able to make an educated guess about what else happened in the green room that night. Let me tell you, it was impressive. But that was that. I haven't even told you. Okay, another Gethard Show Wu-Tang Clan connection. Fuck. In 2013, Gethard Show went to South by Southwest in Texas. But Ghostface was playing at one of the stages at South by Southwest. And Noah Foreman, he's, a friend of mine. We talk about our fandom of Wu-Tang a lot. Yes, I finally got that fucker. Anyway, oh, God damn it. Anyway, we get to the front of the stage for this Wu-Tang concert. And we're waiting. And, he's late because he's a superstar. Some stranger hands me his weed and I smoke weed. It was just such a very positive vibe. It was amazing. I'm freaking out. Like this is like the opposite of the Never Meet Your Heroes kind of situation where like I am fully geeking out. I'm a few years younger at this point. And it's a concert, so you gotta freak out. It's Ghostface. He's about to hit the stage. Kill the bottom left first? Fine. Okay, fine. I'll try it. Anyway, Ghostface hits the stage after probably 45 minutes to an hour of waiting. And he jumps on stage. And this, if you don't know, Ghostface is he's larger than life. Physically, he is just a huge guy. He's like a superhero. And he jumps on stage. Look, if I kill that guy first, how do I get the gun to kill the other guys? I guess I could get his gun. Okay, fine. I'll try it. Damn it. Okay, get me. Anyway, Ghostface jumps on stage and just grabs my hand. The first thing he does when he jumps on stage is I reach out for a high five. And, it's not like a high five, like he high fives, a dozen people in the front row. He grabs my hand. And for 30 seconds, we're just shaking hands as he's rapping in these opening moments of this show. It was I'm sure that one of the members of his crew was like, hey man, there's this little kid who looks kind of sick or maybe he's dying or something. And it looks like he's really happy to be here. If you could shake his hand first, it's really going to make his night. That's probably what was going on in their minds. It was a total Make-A-Wish moment. But it really, I'm speaking about it today. But, oh, damn it. Okay. There's just so, those are the main, those are the main Gethard Show Wu-Tang connections for me. But it is pretty remarkable how many times, God, I haven't even told you about, I've told you about the Camp Tazo thing with the RZA, but that picture of me and the RZA is from 10 years earlier. Because one day I got a text from my friend. Oh shit, come on. God damn it. No. Got a text from my best friend. She told me the RZA's doing a book signing today. RZA has a new book? Yes. You see, one of the ways that I became so knowledgeable and obsessed with the Wu-Tang Clan early on when I was like 18, 19 was by reading the Wu-Tang Manual, the first book that the RZA wrote. Fuck. You're welcome for sharing, by the way. I'm having such a good time. The Wu-Tang Manual is amazing. You know, it goes through all their kind of like general early history as a group. That's how I know all the stuff about the RZA's 5-year plan and, you know, like the industry stuff. And it's how I was able to interpret so many of their early lyrics was through reading the notations of their lyrics in this book. Anyway, damn, come on. Go. Thank God. Whew. So you're welcome, Jay Papaja. So the RZA has a book signing at the Barnes and Noble in Union Square, New York. And little known fact, the Wu-Tang Manual was the only book that I physically carried from my home in California to my first apartment in New York when I first moved to New York. Got my laptop, my bag of clothes, and the Wu-Tang Manual. And I'll be ready for New York. What a dummy, right? 20 years old. But on the 1-year anniversary of me moving to New York, the RZA had a book signing for his new book. And so I waited in line. I bought it, I bought a copy of his new book, The Tao of Wu. Waited in line. And I got to tell the RZA, look, man, I moved to New York exactly 1 year ago with a laptop, a suitcase full of clothes, and this Wu-Tang Manual. Just wanted to say thank you. I appreciate you. I'm a huge fan. And he goes, oh, are you a musician? I go, no, I'm trying to be a comedian. And he goes, oh, cool. Okay. And you know, I paid very close attention the whole time I was waiting in that line to speak to him. And, you know, with every photo opportunity, he would just kind of point to the camera like a cool rock star. But for me, and as I got closer to the line, I could see that in every book, he would write, you know, like John, peace, RZA, you know. But after I told him that, he signed my book, you know, acrostic poems. You know me, Temple of the Milk Spirit, MILK, Mother, I love knowledge. Lactose, love another creature that offers sacred enzymes. You know I love acrostic poems. Wu-Tang, witty, unpredictable talent, and natural game. This is a huge reason why I love acrostic poems. In my Wu-Tang Manual, look, I'll show you right now. This will be one of the last things I leave you with. Here it is. Always at arm's reach. My Wu-Tang Manual. To Riley. Positive education activates constant elevation. Peace. The RZA. Positive education activates constant elevation. Protons, electrons always cause explosions. Positive education always corrects errors. That's peace. So, fortuitous fruit. on the 1 year anniversary of me moving to New York. Like what could have been more encouraging? It made perfect sense, you know? And then 10 years later, almost to the day, I find out that the RZA is hosting that Camp Tazo thing, and I send in my application and my submission, and then I get it, and I get to tell him that 10 years later to his face in the company of only a dozen people. Can I reclaim Planet Scum as an acrostic? Yeah, I can't do it right now, but I'll think of a good one. Sure, yeah. Damn, I need to spend some time away from you guys just so I can recharge so that we're all ready for Saturday Not Live. I almost went 3 hours when I only wanted to go 2. I hope the crew, yeah, it was very nice to tell some stories.